What's up, interwebs? I'm Tim Green. This is my writing channel with awesome writing content. This is, again, the working title of First Draft, Rough Narrator.
Rough Draft, Rough Narrator.
Rough Draft, Rough Narrator, One Take. Where Adam, my buddy.
Yo.
From ZOP Gaming.
Yes! You plugged it finally.
Finally.
Go over there.
It only take 10 episodes.
If you like gaming and you like people commenting, you'll like ZOP Gaming.
Anyway, he's doing the narration for my only novel I've ever pantsed, The Chronicles of Skyler Grant.
That's right. I only do it in one take.
He does it in one take. So, and it is a first draft. Like, it's a first draft. And
yes,
we are into, about today is chapter 10.
Yes.
Of a 48 some odd chapter novel. So if you haven't listened to the other chapters, you might want to go back to listen to those now so if you want to know what's going on. It's just fun, so you could just listen to this one, continue, and then go back and then figure out what's going on and tell us that way, but other way. So today, Adam is about to start reading chapter 10. Afterwards, we'll come back and we'll talk about the chapter, questions he has, things that I remember writing or why I did certain things. If I can remember. It's over about a decade since I've done this, so who knows. But Adam, you ready to read?
Well, one more caveat to the narration. I haven't read any of this prior to this moment.
No, he hasn't. So, but before he starts to read, if you can go on to like this, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe, because again, awesome writing content.
Skyler Grant. Written by Tim Green. Narrated by Adam Daley. Skyler Grant. Written by Tim Green. Narrated by Adam Daley. Chapter 10. 6 months earlier. 4 days after avoiding capture. Skyler sat on the edge of a riverbank just outside of Cedar Falls. He had been waiting for a few hours since getting the text of where to meet whoever warned him about Detective Daniels coming to arrest him. Enough time had passed that skipping rocks over the slow-moving river had expired long ago. Even looking at the mountains that surrounded Cedar Falls, the orange, red, and yellow colors of the leaves in mid-October no longer kept his attention. Skyler was starting to wish he had brought a book with him, or at least found one in town. Finally, he had enough. He did not care enough to sit there and wait for whoever was supposed to be coming. What if a police car passed by and saw him? They'd had to have an APB out on him now to all the other towns. Skyler could no longer take the chance. He stood up and grabbed his bag, put his right arm through one of the straps and threw it over his shoulder, and turned around, not sure where it was going to go, but somewhere other than there. He did not take more than a few steps when he noticed black Jeep parked off to his left. Not sure he continued the closer he got to the road. Jeep became more clear when he finally noticed someone was leaning up driver's side of the vehicle. All Skyler could make out was that he was short, had black hair and olive-color skin. He wore a sky blue shirt and dark jeans and scandals. He kept walking, but something bugged him about this man. He couldn't put his finger on it, but there was something that made him uneasy. It was not until the man in the Jeep were to his back when he realized what it was. The man was watching him. The only reason he knew this when he heard his name called out. "Skyler Grant," said the olive-skinned man. Skyler whipped around to see that this man had left his Jeep and now stood in plain sight. Everything inside of him was telling him to run. Only someone in law enforcement would know his name here, but for some reason he didn't. Skyler was shocked when he heard his own voice answer. "What do you want?" replied Skyler. "It amazes me how long you've actually waited," said the olive-skinned man, taking a step closer toward Skyler. "I have been waiting in my Jeep for 2 hours and 38 minutes for you to leave. Everything I read about you says you have no patience at all, but you waited almost 3 hours. Actually, I waited 3 hours and 38 minutes. I have been you longer than you. Who are you?
Wow. I am impressed.
Don't be. I only waited because it is not like I have somewhere to be or can't wait to go.
I see. Well, anyway, to answer your question, I am the one who warned you about Detective Daniels coming for you, and the text message come here. My name is Jing. Anyway, we should get going.
I'm not going with you.
Why not? I did save you from being criminal prosecuted for the murder of your girlfriend.
Don't care. I just met you, and for all I know, you could be some creepy man who likes to teen boys.
Nonsense. If I was that, I would have waited nearly 3 hours for you to find me. I would have approached you as soon as I got here.
Still not going with you.
Okay, then what will get you to change your mind?
Tell me how you knew they were coming for me.
I have my sources in many police departments in this state. I got a call the moment the warrant for your arrest was issued.
Why would you have sources in law enforcement branches all over this state? You some kind of terrorist?
I have gone from a pedophile to a terrorist now. At least I am making progress. Slow, but at least some.
You would rather be considered a terrorist than a pedophile?
Yes, because while if I go to jail, I am not going to be killed. Unlike if I am pedophile and go to jail, I'll be dead within the first few days of being there.
Okay, I see your point on that one. Still not going with you.
Well, time's short, and if you're not coming, that's fine. I'll find someone else who will help save them.
Jing turned and headed towards his jeep. Skyler was confused. Why did he say save them? Who needed to be saved? And why him? He had to know. Why are you walking about? What are you talking about? Who needs to be saved?
Interesting. I see,
said Jing, turning around to face Skyler.
Just people who are abducted, who their families think are dead. Kind of like your girlfriend. Isis is her name, right?
Skyler dropped to his knees. He felt like he had just been hit in his chest by a fastball, and it knocked all the wind out of his lungs. Isis was alive. But how could this be? There were evidence that she was dead. Sure, her body was never found, but the blood in the woods. Who could survive after losing that much blood? While the police think she was murder, Skyler knew if she was dead, she killed herself. There were signs, not many. He had tried to help her, but he could only do so much. Now he was told she is alive? Skyler gasped for air when he felt a hand on his shoulder. He looked up to see Jing kneeling down in front of him.
You really do care for her,
he said.
Maybe you are the person.
What do you mean? Gasped Skyler as he finally was able to suck in some air. How do you know she is alive? And what do you mean, I am the person?
It's a long story, but the people who took her, they go around the world abducting kids from ages 8 to 17. They all have something in common. They are special, and you should be on that list. Somehow you didn't, or they would have taken you when they took her. You are the person to free them, because they don't know they missed you. And that will be their downfall.
What? Asked Skyler. He felt lost. How am I special? How is Isis and all the others who have been abducted special?
This is going to be hard to believe, but each one of you have a gift and ability, or you can say a power, one that is specific to you. These people want them, and they are capturing them before their power manifests, because they know they will not be able to capture them if they can use their power.
Bull, said Skyler, standing as he shrugs Jing's hand off his shoulder. How gullible do you think I am? There is no such thing as superpowers or abilities. You have read and seen way too many comic books and movies. Skyler turned and started to walk back in the direction he was headed before Jing called out to him. He couldn't believe that Jing wanted him to believe that he was special and had some kind of power. As much as he thought it would be great, there was no way that it was true.
How hard is it for you to learn something?
Shouted Jing. What? Asked Skyler, stopping and turning back to face him.
I asked, how hard is it for you to learn anything?
Not hard, but a lot of people learn fast.
True. But have you ever been told that you learn faster than everyone? Or that how fast you pick something up is scary?
Skyler only knew what Jing was saying all too well. Since he was in 5th grade, he was the top of his class. There was nothing that he couldn't learn. He was always the first person to pick it up. He had a few teachers who wanted to skip him ahead a grade or two because how smart he was. But he refused to leave his friends. Skyler remembered that at scout camp, his instructor who was teaching them about tracking thought he had learned it before with how fast he picked it up, and was able to find him when he hid and told the kids to see if they could find where he went and was hiding. However, this was not enough to convince him that he had a special ability.
I'll take your silence as a yes. And that is why you were so close to Isis. When she moved to Angel Groves in 7th grade, she was exactly like you. The two of you got each other because your brains worked the same way. And that is how you learn to unlock your power. Once you know what your ability is, doing little things like it helps you figure out how to use it. Within no time, you unlock that ability.
Tell me then, what is my ability?
That I don't know. Since you are on that list, no one knows. However, I can help you unlock it if you come with me. You unlock your power and be able to save Isis and the others.
No, I don't believe you.
Fine. You won't be able to avoid the authorities forever, and when you are caught, you will prosecute you for murder, and you will be convicted, because that is what they do. They'll find someone to blame for the disappearance. While you rot in jail, your girlfriend will remain in the hands of the people who only want what she can do, and once they have it, they no longer need her. What do you think they will do with her then?
Jing stopped. He turned and walked back to his jeep. Within a few seconds, he was out of sight. Skyler turned and headed for the road. He got about 10 feet from where he was before he turned around and ran after Jing. He rounded the brush where the jeep was parked and came to a stop to see Jing once again leaning up against it.
That took longer than I thought. Well, what I read about as being impatient might have been wrong. Your stubbornness, it was right about.
How is taking 10 steps before changing one's mind stubborn?
Easy. You turned and walked away twice. If you weren't so stubborn, the moment I told you that Isis was alive, we would have been on our way.
Oh, you really think you can help me unlock my ability?
Absolutely.
I'm in. Not sure I believe you, but I have nowhere to go or do.
Good. Get in.
Okay. Wow. Finally got some answers, Adam.
Yeah, we got some answers.
In the little weird ways. And spelling, grammar.
Oh, it's all over the place, buddy.
Yeah, that one was way, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are your first initial thoughts?
First of all, I'm glad that I figured out the voice of Jing.
Yeah, I think you used a different voice the first time.
I have no idea what you're talking about. That is the only voice I have ever used. Also, the fact that Jing, because that voice is Eastern European, slightly Japanese, a smattering of Asian, of random Asian. He fits perfectly. He could be from anywhere.
Yeah, sure.
He's actually from Namibia.
No, he's actually from Canada.
Oh, yes. Totally forgot about that. He's Canadian.
He's actually Canadian.
Eh?
Inside
Next
wrestling.
time-
Inside wrestling joke there.
Next time he comes out and he's like, hey, Skyler, eh? You ready to hop on the roads, eh? What are you talking about?
So, okay, so your first thoughts, Adam.
Yes. Not a bad chapter. I actually enjoyed that one. That was... I feel that was a good... You have put the information that you wanted
Yep.
in there. It doesn't feel like you're trying to fill space.
Yeah.
He's just like, boom, here you go.
My thing was we start off with him waiting for 3.5 hours. When we left off, him running into an olive-skinned man.
Yes.
Also, if I'm not correct, I don't remember him actually saying Jing was leaning up against his car.
Nope.
He was in his car.
Yep.
But Skyler could tell what kind of pants he
Pants
had on.
and shoes.
Yeah, pants and shoes he had on.
Well, actually, he didn't have shoes. He had scandals on his
that's right.
feet.
His scandals on his feet.
Which is, I feel bad for the man having
See-
scandals.
See, right there, it just tells you he has a superpower because he has X-ray vision. He can see through the Jeep.
That is, while walking away from the Jeep,
Yep.
he was able to see all of that.
Yep. Again, this is that whole idea that he has 360 vision.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 360 X-ray vision now.
Yep.
He's having superpowers that he has no idea that he's using.
Yep. No.
Also, the fact that he can walk 10 feet in only 10 steps.
That's 10 feet.
Those are some small steps. He's just like shuffling there. All right, I'll go back. No wonder. Yeah, that's him being stubborn.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, the average stride is about 4.5 feet.
Not intently. No, an actual stride is technically about 1.5 to 2 feet, depending on how tall you are, and your foot, how big your foot is.
Okay.
The taller you are, the bigger your stride you're gonna have. Obviously, the bigger your foot is, the longer your.
But it would like a couple of steps is past 10 feet.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why I put 10 feet and 10 steps. That I do not know.
All right. It turns around. All right, I'm going back.
I'm actually impressed with how stubborn Skyler is on not going with him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. And it brings up the pedophile, then a terrorist. And then
I love the fact.
I'm making
by
progress.
the way, it is wonderful to see that Jing is like, look, I'll take terrorist over pedophile.
Yeah, because I don't want to die. If I go to jail, I'm not making it out of there.
It is a very valid reason.
Yeah.
I was like, that I understand.
Also, terrorists, you're gonna have a special cell.
Yeah, he
special
will be.
prison for him.
He will be separated from everyone.
Yep. Pedophile.
Sleeping is not going to be that much of a problem.
Depending on your state, will determine what. If they'll offer you protective, but doesn't mean you're actually going to be protective.
Nope.
So
someone's going to figure out why you're there, and it's going to happen.
But I'm impressed with it. I thought through that scene more.
That was a really good one.
And what took him to. Honestly, I'm surprised.
Good conversation. I mean, there's some terrible syntax error.
Yes, absolutely.
And there are plenty of times where the what's the word? The tense.
Yes.
She will freed him.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, what?
The hint of him being the chosen one.
Oh yeah,
there. I actually kind of like that, but then him asking that is like, well, you somehow didn't make it on this list. I like his entire thing of, look,
Other people are saying you're the chosen one. I'm out here to pick you up and no, you are not. You are the biggest idiot ever.
See, no, well,
I have to train you.
If I was to write this again, I would I would have Jin hint at you're the chosen one. Like, what? The chosen one? No, you're not the what do you think this is? Some kind of fantasy, like, destiny? No. You think somehow...
What do you think this is? Hunger Games?
Like, what do you think? Like, no.
What do you think this is? Star Wars?
You have a special ability that somehow didn't get on the list.
Yeah.
If you can unlock your ability, which I believe you already have, you can save them.
I do enjoy the fact that they go, see, what's your ability? But before that, he's like, do you learn fast? And they're like, yeah, I learn fast. And it's like, that's your ability.
Yeah.
And then he asks him, he's like, so do you know what my ability is? And Jing's like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, we just spent 3 minutes talking about the fact that you learn really fast.
Yeah.
Which is kind of obvious that I'm saying that that's your ability. And then just goes, well, could you tell me it? Kid, I am going to bitch slap you so hard.
The idea at that time when I was writing it was that everyone kind of learns fast.
Okay, everyone that has abilities can learn quickly.
I later turned that into an ability. His first ability.
Which just makes this scene even better. Because all I can see in this is that Jing is really sarcastic with him. And being like, look, I am giving you this information. And the more that you are going, but that can't be.
Yeah.
I'm going, oh, shut the... oh, my God. I am going to... This is the one that they're saying is the savior.
This is the chosen one?
This is the kid that's going to save the day.
We are doomed.
We're either doomed or he's going to destroy everything, which means that we're doomed.
But yeah, I was impressed with it. And then him just realizing... I would have gone with Jing going more like, why not? Like, do you have anything else to go? Anywhere else to go? I'm like, you sure, but the cops are going to catch you at some point.
Eventually, they're going to catch you.
You're 14. The fact that you got away is impressive.
I don't even know how you got out here.
Yeah.
It's a 4-day travel, and it's the same day. I don't know how you got here.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good back and forth. I don't know if I would have gone given as much information here.
Probably not.
But who knows? We'll see how he gets more information.
I do feel in the rewrite that Jing should just be sarcastic with Skyler all the time because he knows that Skyler is a bratty teenager.
Yeah.
So he's just like, you know what, kid, you can doubt me all you want, but I'm going to start saying some things that are really ridiculous, but they're going to be true.
Yeah. So, and with that voice you gave would be hilarious. But yeah, there's actually got a lot of information.
Yeah.
So, one thing I probably would put in this one if I rewrote it, I'd put some incorrect information.
Yes.
Based on what Jing thinks, this is also thinking on what I believe is
maybe as a little bit of a test to Skyler.
But I think some of the information he would hear is outdated information that Jing would have.
Yes.
But is still believed to be true because of things that are coming up, which I will not say because of spoilers.
Ha 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 ha.
If I remember correctly. Again, this is based on a decade-old me trying to remember what happens.
Ugh.
But yeah, it was good overall. Any follow-up? Any questions, comments?
Looking forward to reading Chapter 11 soon.
Okay. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is Chapter 11. Let us know what you thought.
No, that was Chapter 10.
Chapter 10, because you just said 11.
Yes.
Wow. That was Chapter 10. Let us know down in the comment section what you're thinking of this chapter. And what you think so far if you've been going through all the chapters. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up because it helps with the algorithm. Also, smash that like up. Don't just tap it, smash it. Because we smash things here on my channel. And again, subscribe because of awesome writing content. Speaking of that awesome writing content, I'll put 2 videos up on here. I think that will help you out. Check one of those out. But yeah, we'll see you in one of those other videos. Bye.